So, second of many lottery videos I'm doing. This one isn't even really about Zion and his future with the Pelicans, it's more so how it affects the Anthony Davis trade stuff. And really this lottery as a whole, because the Lakers getting the 4th pick and the Knicks getting the 3rd, I mean, I think those are big deals as well towards where AD can end up, and the fact that the Grizzlies ended up with the 2nd pick, which means they could end up being pretty damn good faster, which means their pick that they owe to the Celtics, which is going to convey at some point, that might not even be as good of a pick now, on top of all the other things that could happen with the Celtics this offseason. So, the first thing is, are the Pelicans, maybe they actually convince Anthony Davis to stay? I don't know. That's what David Griffin says he wants to do, and AD does seem like kind of an impressionable guy. At the same time, it seems, according to stuff on Twitter, it seems that he is set on wanting to be gone from the Pelicans and all that. But, I mean, if they can get him into the regular season and he has not been traded and he's actually willing to give it an attempt, then, I mean, look, Drew, Zion, AD, maybe Julius Randle, maybe not, I don't know, and then just hopefully a not terrible roster around them. That team could win some games and be pretty exciting. Now, there's also this new news that Zion might stay at Duke. I mean, if that happens, then it's going to be a meltdown and then some. But I think that's the first thing we need to recognize is if Anthony Davis is willing to buy in at least a little bit, give them X amount of games to convince him, well, Zion could be the perfect thing to get that going. I mean, whether Zion starts, plays at the 3 with Julius Randle and AD, I don't really care. Like, Zion is going to, he's going to be Zion, and that's going to be a hell of a player in the NBA, and him and AD together could really be something, but we don't know if Anthony Davis is going to want to stay. Anyway, the next thing to look at is kind of the 3 teams that were all in on the AD sweepstakes between the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Celtics. Of course, there's always a chance somebody else could swoop in here. But if we stick to these teams, I mean, I don't think the Knicks really have that great of an offer with the number 3 pick. I mean, it ends up being RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson for Anthony Davis. I mean, I think Mitchell Robinson's got potential to be pretty good, and it seems like RJ's got some skills as a tall playmaker and stuff, but I don't think that'd be enough if I was the Pelicans for AD. You look at a Celtics offer, I mean, look, Tatum's stock is down, Jalen's stock is probably about the same as it was towards the end of last season, and then all of the picks that they have, which we were going nuts over not long ago, suddenly they're not as great. The Clippers are a good team. The Celtics pick, their own pick is somewhere in the low 20s, I guess. Or is it high teens? I don't know. The Kings pick is the 14th pick in the draft. It's not a bad pick, but I mean, you're not going crazy over it. And then again, like I mentioned, because now the Grizzlies are in a position where they're going to get a really good player. It's apparently pretty set for them to draft Ja Morant. That's what I saw on Twitter. So suddenly it's like, wait a minute. Tatum's stock is down. All the pick stocks are down. And then it's like, wow, the Celtics are not in the driver's seat for Anthony Davis anymore. Now, does that mean that they still can't put together the best offer? I mean, I don't know. You can have an argument about it, but it's certainly not a home run type of thing, whereas a few months ago you could have pictured that. On top of the fact that if Kyrie leaves, then I mean, they're not going to do the move anyway. Now, even with all that said, maybe Tatum is just, the potential with him is still so high the Pelicans would jump on it, but I mean, there's also the fact that the Lakers, who were maybe the one other team really in competition with the Celtics, unless another team comes up here and starts making offers for AD, which we have to assume will happen. But the Lakers' offers improved. I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made about Brandon Ingram's health. And of course, Lakers and Celtics fans on Reddit and random parts of Twitter have been fighting each other about Tatum versus Ingram for months now, and whatever. But that blood clot stuff is real. Now, I know that particular blood clot, it's not as scary as others, but it is still something to care about. And that between how you feel about Lonzo, Kuzma, Hart, whoever, but that 4th pick could be the sweetener. Now, that being said, one interesting thing will be if the Pelicans want to stretch the AD stuff out as long as they can, because I have to guess they are going to really try to convince him to stay, which I can respect, because no matter what you get back for the guy, it's not going to be good as having Anthony Davis. So maybe that means they're going at least a decent way into the regular season before they start listening to offers, and I don't know if the Lakers are actually going to use their pick. I mean, would you use the 4th pick in the draft on, I don't know, Jared Culver, DeAndre Hunter, or whoever, when 34-year-old LeBron is on your team? I don't know, especially if you could use that 4th pick to trade for a guy who's maybe 26, 27, he's got a decent amount of years to go in the league, and he can help you out right now. Now, I don't know who that guy is, but that's going to be really interesting to see just how angsty the Lakers are to have an immediate talent upgrade and all that. So I think my opinion is the lottery certainly helped the Lakers in getting Anthony Davis. It hurt the Celtics, and it hurt the Knicks. But it also gave the Pelicans kind of the most amount of ammo possible to convince Anthony Davis to stay. Now, again, maybe that's not going to happen regardless of how this team looks on opening night. But, hey, you don't know. So that's my take on this. And eventually I will get to the fact that the Pelicans are going to have Zion Williamson and what that means for them moving forward, but decided to talk about AD first.